What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me tonight. It is midnight on the dot for me, and I appreciate y'all being here. I want to look at these daily charts with you. We might, zoom in on a couple of these days just to inspect more closely the price action on the day, right? But I want to go over the daily charts with you, how we're using the daily charts, what we're looking for on the daily charts in order to trade, okay? Now, let me get rid of these drawings here. What we're doing on the daily chart is identifying markets that have the potential for a trade the next day. So we might be looking for signal days, okay? Signal days are easy to identify on a daily chart. We're also tracking weekly and monthly levels on our daily charts, right? And like, for example, here, you can see we have one, two, three higher closes here on a Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday has closed in breakout, meaning we closed above the extreme of the previous day. So we have closed in breakout, right? So we have three higher days, or three higher closes rather, the highest close of the week, the highest close of the month. All this is going on. So I might be watching this market tomorrow, Thursday, right? Straight out of the ACB masterclass. Now we're still inside of this previous month's range, okay? And we do take that into consideration. We could be just as easily getting ready to continue trending upwards in this market, okay? So we're not automatically selling anything just because we see three higher closes and we're at the highest close of the week, highest close of the month, the new month, right? We're not going to just automatically get in here and sell it. This market could, just pull back on the day, pull back a couple of days, and then, continue to skyrocket, right? So I'm just pointing this out to you. It's easy to identify these types of things, right? And as we go, like for example, here's an inside day on a Thursday. So you could have seen that easily on your daily chart and said, bam, I got a signal day going into Friday. So this market might be on my watch list, right? Now, we're also tracking monthly levels. So here's a perfect example here in the month of January, right? We have our December high of the month level. And you can see that this market breaks out in that first or second week of January, right? From right here, Thursday, Friday, right? Friday breaks out of that high. We have Friday, Monday, and Tuesday that give us three higher closes. We're broken out of the previous month's high, three higher closes, the highest close of the month, the highest close of the week for a potential trade on that Wednesday, right? And then we have that high of the month level. If we mark that off, you can see right where we pull back to before this large move that we just had recently in this market on the 23rd, which was a Friday. Okay. All right. These levels are significant. Here's the low of December, which we broke out of near the end of January, right? And since then, we've pulled back. We're well within the range again. Okay, so we broke out. Now we pulled back. Now we're looking to see this market potentially coil for a big move, right? At some point to take out one of those levels. But let's keep moving back. Okay, I'm going to remove some of these as we go. Here You can see Thursday, or sorry, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, we have three higher closes. Okay. Tuesday, we're at the high of the current week. You can see that this here is Friday, this is Monday, so we've broken the previous week's high, right? The highest close of the month, the highest close of the week, and we get that nice sell day the next day, okay? And then again over here, we have broken out of the high of the current month. This Friday closes in breakout at the new highest close of the month, going back into this high from the previous month, right? For another sell day there from the high of the month. And that's kind of where we're going to be looking for it. Here, you can see this market came down in the beginning of the month, and Friday gave us a first green day, right? And locked in this low. This is our low of the current month of December, right? This market, when it comes up here, then pulls back. It's pulling back into these levels, right? We're back into the low of the month level, right? This is the new lowest close of the month, and we get a first green day signal. That market then coils for a day, right? We do break the high, we expand that range, just like Stacy says. That I can't remember which trader says it, right? But he always quotes it. Someone pointed it out to me today and said that when you get a range expansion, the market's sending you a clear signal that it wants to continue in the direction of that range expansion. So you can see here that Wednesday on the backside of the week, right, gave us a low, gave us a high. Thursday expanded that range just a little bit to the upside, and then Friday blasted off through the high of the month level, right? Let's keep on keeping on. You can see here's our high of October, and we do sort of break out right here. You can see this is a great example here of a slight breakout, pullback, continuation type of trade, right? And we get this first red day after we break out of that market and give 1, 2, 3 higher closes, a close and breakout on Thursday, going into day 3 on the backside of that week. We're at the high of the week, high of the month, right? For a nice sell day. Here, right? We got our first green day down here going into the low of the previous month. We break out here on a Monday. We break out of the previous month's high. 1, 2, 3 higher closes. The highest close of the month, we close in breakout on a Thursday going into day 3 on the backside of the week. And we get this very nice sell day. Now, just because we're getting those sell days doesn't mean that this market is set up in your session. You might not get that trade, right? But I hope that you're sort of getting the point here, right? Then you can see here, here's that high. Let's extend that. And you can see this market gave us that first red day. We coil sideways the next 2 days. And then we 1, 2, 3 lower closes, okay? Back on top of that breakout level. You see what I'm saying? And then a first green day, signal day, and this market then trends, okay? Coils below this high for a couple days before breaking out, right? This 1, 2, 3 lower closes against this trend, this uptrend that's going on here, against this up move. This is often a stop hunt pattern, okay? So that's why we break out, traders were triggered here, their stops are going to be at the opposite side of the daily range, or somewhere near here, right? Somewhere in here where we broke out. They might be at break even or something like that. But the market pulls back either way, goes back into that level, and then continues. You can see here we had this market actually coiled for an entire, month and a half. All right, and look how clean we play off of those levels. Not only that, but looking here, okay, here's our high of the current month, our high of the previous month. Here at the end of the month, we break out. We get these two higher closes. Thursday closes in breakout as the highest close of the month, right? We're at the high of the week, and we get that sell day the next day, and we continue to auction lower after that. We have a first red day at the high of the month. Here's your first red day follow through trade on this Monday. Okay. And just if we continue to scroll back, it's just going to be the same thing over and over again. But I will show you some different markets. Okay. Here's our high of that month, our highest closing price of that month. All right. Now, again, you can see once we break that, the close of that day here, this Monday, we break out right here, right? We got 1, 2, 3 higher closes. Tuesday closes in breakout at the high of the month, high of the week level, and we get that sell day the next day. This market pulls back into those highs, right? And then we auction lower once again out of that level, okay? This market, if we look close, you can see we pulled back right into that highest closing price of the month before having these 1, 2, 3 red days against this up move of the month, right? That's that stop hunt. 1, 2, 3, back into that breakout level. First green day, and this market continues to auction higher, once again breaking out of the high, right? Here's those highs. You can see we broke out again going into the next month. Okay, we got Wednesday, Thursday closing in breakout, the new highest close of the month, and Friday, right, is a news day, I reckon, right? And we get this huge sell day. If that's not an ACB trade, I don't know what is, right? And let's continue to go back. These months here are a good example of something interesting, okay? Because we don't break the high of this current month, but we do break out of this recent high for that first red day right there, right? And regardless, if we discount this day, it's kind of almost an inside day, but we have higher closes. Okay, we close and break out on Friday. Monday gives this pin hammer for that follow through trade from the high of the month. You're shorting from out of the high of the month. When you're going long, you want to be able to see that you're clearly trading back into lows, okay? So maybe this was a sketchy time of the month right here for you, so you didn't trade anything until we had this red candle this Thursday, right, that closes in breakout at the low of the week, trading back into the previous week's lows, okay, and then getting a first green day from there. The next day closes above that EMA. So, I mean, you could have been trading this day, any of these up days, right? Again, this is another good example because we don't break the technical high of the previous month, but we do break through these levels. Okay. We don't have three higher closes, right? We have this inside day. We have one, two higher closes, inside day, third higher close. We are breaking through these equal highs to the left. Okay. We close and break out on Monday at the high of the current week, the current month. Okay. And then first red day, you could trade that day, right? If you're looking for shorts from there, or trade the follow through days. And then we have this low of the month. You can see over here how the market comes back into this low and then gives us this first green day signal back at the low of the month for a long trade, right? Now, let's move on and look at a different pair. The reason why we're looking at Forex is because there's more structure, so to speak. So if we go and look at an index, we do often have good structure on the months, okay? But you can see that we are basically bullish at all times. There's not, I feel like you have clearer highs and lows on Forex markets, okay? So let's look at it anyway. Let's get rid of my drawings on here. Oops. All right. And I'm sorry if we've already went over some of these, it's who cares, okay? But let's just start here because I mean I can see this stuff off the bat, right? Here's our high of October, and look what we get here. One, two, three higher closes going into a Wednesday. This is the ACB Masterclass perfect setup, okay? We've broken out of the high of the previous month, okay? Close and breakout. I would imagine coil sideways and then dump. Now, we got that marked off. It was just a couple months ago. Let's go down to an hourly chart and take a look at this. Yep. See that close and breakout? We're coiling. Go back to the highs. This market trades early in London. It starts to melt, right? But look at this candle, the 10 a.m. candle, that large pin. Let's really zoom in here. These these three candles right here, highs all going into the EMA. This is your coil, right? And when you come to your chart, you're going to see you're already closing beneath that EMA on an hourly chart. So this market is well and down. I can't zoom in any, closer than this. I don't believe on the phone, but that large pin right there, dog, you'd be in the market on an hourly chart. Okay. So look on the 15. Yeah. I mean, just beautiful, right? That is your coil. Right? And we have our little false break here, this green candle, this red candle. There's an M formation here. Okay. We coil into that EMA and dump down, and you are in that market. And this, because of the way it's set up, is a hold till close type of opportunity. Okay. Whereas if you're like me and you're taking 50 to 100 pips, out of the market, right? Why did I do that? We can just measure it. Then you're already out of the market in a single 15-minute candle, right? And you make your money or whatever. But imagine if you held this thing till just before the close of the day, right? And locked in 500, 600 pips on a position that you have greatly sized into, right? Because of the way we are set up here. Three higher closes, close and breakout. We've broken out of the high of the previous month. Everything is aligning, okay? And then when you get your entry criteria met on that day, you're in there for the ride. You know what I'm saying? And this could have turned into a swing trade, apparently, right? If you were contemplating swing trading. But sometimes, the market can be tricky or whatever. But if you can be patient and just let things sort of unfold, right? You're going to do better than you could imagine if you can just sit on your hands. If you can see here, we've got the 1st of October, which was a Wednesday, okay? And 3 days of higher closes, highest close of the month, okay? And the market turns red. Maybe not a great trade in your session, but still, okay? The formula remains. But then if you're patient and you wait, you see we capitulate here, you know, into the low of the month. We take out these levels to the left or whatever, right? And you just wait through this entire thing. Don't even trade, anything here except for maybe this Friday because I just see that pin. We probably had some good price action there on that day, but you can see we pull back like this, trade back down, we go right back down into these levels, okay, and then get a first green day signal. So if you waited all of this out, didn't trade any of this, when you get this big pin bar on a daily chart, okay, at the low of the month, Friday, Monday opens up really nice for you. You know what I mean? If you know that you've got a first green day signal, it's in the right place according to the monthly cycle, all right? It might be a valid first green day, and you can take the trade the next day. And then you can see from this point, 1, 2, 3 higher closes. Tuesday closes in breakout at the highest close of the month for a Wednesday short trade, all right? And then maybe you're done for the month. You took one trade here and one trade here, and you're done for the entire month. Okay. It took you being patient and sitting through 2 weeks of price action, right? But the payoff is worth it. Okay. Trading doesn't pay you like a regular job, does it? You know what I'm saying? And then in an example like this, it's kind of what I'm talking about. Like sometimes there's not a lot of structure to be had except for bullish, you know. And I'm not a trend trader. I like trading reversals. But you can still see clear examples like here, right? Here's our highest close of the previous month, the high of the previous month. We get 1, 2, 3 higher closes, a close and breakout on Thursday for a potential Friday short trade, right? So that's why we're looking at Forex markets. Bitcoin is also pretty good, and this mirrors gold. So let's look at USD. Okay, and right off the bat, you should be seeing this stuff. Okay, these are great examples because of the fact we did not break the high of the month, right? But we do have sort of like these highs. We've got these equal highs. We've got these highs. Okay, we're just identifying structure to the left, right? Where orders may be resting, where there may be liquidity. Okay, these equal highs, there's money sitting above all these levels. Traders have been selling this market this entire time. Okay, and they have stop losses in there and all that good stuff, right? And you can see right here going into the close of this December, right? This market has started to print green days. When we open in January, okay, we have multiple higher closes, right? But when we break this first level here, okay, then we get 1, 2, 3 higher closes. Friday closing and breakout at the high of the current month, the highest closing price of the current month, okay? And then Monday goes short, and it doesn't follow through until, right, we come back in here and get, let's zoom in, okay? So if we discount the inside day, sort of, right, we have 1, 2, 3 days of higher closes. We take out the highest price of the month level, okay? Our highest closing price of the month is seeing some action, okay? So we pull back into those levels, all right? Closing here at the highest, the new highest closing price of the month for this big Monday trade, or you would consider this a first red day and trade Tuesday, because the playbook says we can trade mainly Thursdays, but Stacy includes Tuesdays. He says, like, if he has to give you another day, basically Tuesdays. We're looking for trend trades or reversals, right? And then you can see again at the end of the month, we break through the low of the month, okay? And that gives us our 1, 2, 3 lower closes. We're clearly at the lowest closing price of the month, closed in breakout, and that's on a Thursday. We've got news probably on this last Friday of the month or something, and we have this very explosive engulfing candle, okay? A 3-bar reversal pattern on a daily chart, right? There's your first green day, perhaps a trade there on Monday after that, right? And you can see if we're going to continue this bullish sentiment, we're still looking for higher closes right now, but we have these equal highs. We could easily come up here, break out of these levels, right, and see our 3 higher closes, highest 3 higher closes, highest closing price of the month, sort of reversal trade, right? We've got all this news you got to be on the lookout for, right? But let's continue back just a little bit further. Let me find my drink. And some months are just going to be better than other months, no matter what. We don't want to be forcing our trades, which is why I'm trying to reinforce this idea of using the daily charts to hunt your setups, okay? To wait for this market to show you clear signals, right? That way you can be planning a day in advance because you're identifying what you need to see the night before, right? So you're able to come up with a trading plan the night before. You know exactly what you want to see for a short trade, hopefully, right? We're looking probably for that coil sideways, and then we're going to pump up into a level before dumping, right? We want to see that sort of price action on the day that we're trading. If it's going to be, a very clean, well-engineered chart, which is what we're looking for, right? So you can plan it in advance. You know what you're looking for. If you don't see what you're looking for, you simply don't take the trade. So you can be expectant, right? But you want to be sort of like a dog, bro. Like the dog begs for food, just like we beg the market for a trade. But you're not always going to give the dog food. That's not healthy for it. When you don't give the dog food, it doesn't get all emotional and try to bite you or try to come steal your food or go sneak into the kitchen behind your back and open the refrigerator, right? And we should treat the market the same way. We should sit there, we should beg, we should be expectant, we should take what the market gives us without question. But when the market decides not to give us a trade, we do not get emotional about it. We just go lay down like a good boy. You know what I'm saying? And wait for the next time. Now, I know that's kind of like a tangent or something, but I'm just kind of chilling with y'all tonight. Literally, it's cold as fuck out here. But here's the high of the previous month in this situation. Okay. And you can see once that happens, we have 1, 2, 3 higher closes. We're at the highest close of the month of the week on Thursday, going into Friday, day 3 on the back side of the week for this sell day. Okay. And again, we don't really know if we got the trade here or not. Okay, we're not zooming in and looking at anything up close, but still, we would know what we're looking for. And if we see it, we take it. If we don't, we don't. But you can see we have this, our own little 3-day pattern going on here, right? We have this day that breaks the high of the previous day. Okay, this day at some point tries to get up there, but it doesn't break out, but it does break the previous day's low. So we have our false break at the high of the week, sort of 1, 2, 3 pattern, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, maybe this was a 10 o'clock trade in the New York session, I don't know, but the setup is there. Okay, all the criteria has been met for us to look at that trade, including breaking the previous month's high. We're in breakout, and you can see over here we get the exact same trade. Okay, except for Tuesday gives us our first red day, and Wednesday really falls off. We get that, and here's a first green day after we break the low of the month. But anyway, we're trading back up into that level. Okay, back into those levels, coiling sideways here. 3 days that coil sideways. Okay, then we get an inside day followed by a first red day, and then a big trade day on Wednesday. So if you're following these levels and you're marking these levels up, you are going to get great trading opportunities. Okay, here's another one of these examples where we do not break the high of the month quite yet, but we do break through all these equal highs. All right. Okay, but I'm going to take that line off so you can see that here we have a close in breakout. Okay, on a Wednesday. Okay, close in breakout on a Wednesday, high of the month, high of the week for the red trade or the red day the next day on a Thursday, the possible ACB setup. And then over here, we have again like an inside day, but we get 1, 2, 3 lower closes back into the low of the current month, perhaps the low of the previous month. Okay, and then get a first green day. Maybe this wasn't playing out for you, so you weren't expecting it on this day, but still, you get the first green day at the low of the month for possible follow-through trade on a Thursday. Okay, and then here we do break out of the high of that previous month. 1, 2, 3 higher closes. Right, we're at the highest close of the month for a red trade on a Monday. Okay, and then it sort of repeats again here. 1, 2, 3 up, then we go down. Right, 1, 2, 3 up, breaking these levels, we go down. It's not always going to be a great trade, right? Remember that. We don't do anything automatically. But here, okay, these opportunities, they're going to be here. Look at this. Here's the high of that previous month. We get our 3 higher closes, 1, 2, 3, closing in breakout on a Thursday, going into Friday, day 3 on the backside of the week. Big sell-off day, all right? From the high of the month, then this market coils sideways into the next week, And Wednesday gives us that good trade. This one, maybe it's kind of wacky. You don't trade anything here because it's wacky, right? But when you see this trading back into these lows and then giving that first green day, you might be in there the next day on Friday. Over here, you can see we got we've broken previous month's levels. Right here, we broke out. Okay, 1, 2, 3 lower closes, lowest close of the month for a massive trade on a Tuesday. Right, then 1, 2, 3 higher closes, broke the high of the current month for this red day on a Monday. Here's another good example of not breaking the high, but breaking these equal highs before reversing. Right. And I'm also just pointing out to you the general structure of the market, right? We're looking basically at this stair step pattern or whatever, but we're just pointing certain things out. If we go just one time, let's look at Bitcoin. $38 drawings. Okay, and I'm just starting off with you know, on these charts, starting off with the most recent months and then moving back. But you can see right off the bat, I hope, right, you're getting used to seeing this. Here's the high of December. And y'all probably remember me telling you I'm looking at Bitcoin and shit like that. But you can see when we break out of that month, we get 1, 2, 3 higher closes, close and breakout on a Wednesday for the red trade on Thursday, possible ACB setup, right? Right here. 1, 2, 3 up back into the high of the current month for a red trade. Okay, and we can sort of use those 3-bar patterns like against the trend. Remember we said a stop hunt pattern like this. Maybe we say the trend is up here and we get these, it's not very clean here, but 3 bars against the trend for a continuation. And we will see some examples of that. Or if we are, like the market is breaking down here and then all of a sudden we get one sort of big candle that closes in breakout, bullish, like a green close and breakout candle against the trend, we might look for a red day after that. Like that's just a stop hunt. But, and these are sort of like continuation examples here, right? Because here's the low of that month. Okay. Let's zoom in here. We break out of the low of that month here. And this is an example of the breakout, pullback, continuation trade. And here we have that inside day, right? But we get 1, 2, 3 higher closes against this market, against the trend. The market's already broken down, right? And then we get these 3 higher closes back against that trend. Okay, Monday closes in breakout, right? For this big trade on Tuesday, right? And the market then just continues to follow through. Here, we've broken this. Now, this is important, right? Because it's just a question I see coming up a lot in the future, right? So I want to answer it before anyone even asks. We break out of this market. And you can see here we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 higher closes, highest close of the month, right? For the reversal trade on Tuesday. Now, people ask like, well, look, we got, 6 higher closes right here. And so we had one, two, three higher closes, and then nothing happened. And then one, two, three higher closes, and nothing happened. But look, this is a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, day one, day two, day three. So when oh, this is Bitcoin, so this is a weekend, right? But your day count starts over at this new week, but you're still going to be noting, the three higher closes. So it's basically like, okay, bam, here's your first three higher closes. Now you're like, okay, I'm looking for a short trade the next day. And you take your short trade if you see what you need to see in order to take a short trade, right? You know what you need to see. If you don't see it, you skip it, okay? But that doesn't mean you don't continue to keep your eye on the market or whatever, right? And then this market was tricky here because it broke down through the low of the current month back into this low, right? But it doesn't quite get down there before it pulls back. And this is exactly what I was telling you. See this? This is like the big green candle closes in breakout against this bearish momentum right here, right? Then we get this little doji candle, and then the market continues to sell off, finally breaking the low of the month, right? Completing this high of the month to low of the month sort of move. This is that close and breakout against the trend. Monday, Tuesday goes lower. Okay. So, and I just am going through this stuff with you because, I think it's important, but just, I'm hoping that you get something out of it with just me rambling here. So here's the low of August, right? And you can see this market has auctioned up higher, came back down. Maybe you don't trade any of this because nothing is clear to you at the moment, right? But we get down here, we capitulate with this giant candle, okay, down into these lows, right? And then coil sideways. If you come in here and look, we got that big red candle on a Thursday, Friday, Monday are both inside days. The rare but highly valued and sought after double inside day that Stacy talks about on a rare occasion, right? We coil sideways at the low of the month for this big trade. That's a Sunday, but first green day from the low of the month for these big up moving days afterwards. Okay. Here, kind of a wacky month, right? We don't have a clear three higher closes, but what we do have, and what is clear, is that we have broken the high of the previous month, okay? And then here's only one, two higher closes, right? But this is a Wednesday, okay? Straight from the Playbook Masterclass, the ACB Masterclass, Wednesday, closing and breakout at the high of the week, the high of the month, the highest closing price of the month for a Thursday, all in ACB short opportunity. Okay, from where's Monday at? Monday. So from high of week straight to and through the low of week on Thursday. All right. But I got to get in here. As you can see, my phone's about to die. It's pretty cold outside. I just wanted to get on here and hang out with y'all and go over this to keep you focused this month, okay? This is what you should be doing. Stay on these daily time frames and wait for this market to set up, okay? Staying on the daily time frame. I had never really done this throughout my entire trading thing, but I've been doing it the last, week or so, and it's really been helping me out. It's been helping me to relax and to stay out of the market and limit my exposure. I'm not just going to the charts every single day trying to catch a move. I'm waiting for a signal on the daily charts. If I don't have a signal on these daily charts, I don't even need to zoom in. I don't even need to sit down. You understand? I can just take the day off and come back when something clear is forming in the market, right? Anyway, man, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.